All right, Issa back in an Alchemist Lab, and this lecture is on the TetraGrammaton and the Demiurge. I'm going to get into the archons as well too. It's just because I hear a lot of people when it comes to Gnosticism, like they once again they get into like a Christian, modern day Christian mindset, where it's like they actually think there's a demiurge in the sky coming to like trying to keep everybody in a physical reality or something like that. But it's you keeping you in your physical reality. Like the demiurge isn't something literal. You know what I mean? Like once we get into like these different things, these different concepts that the whole Gnostic concept it is from my experience, Gnosticism is very helpful in your spiritual reality. Like because the whole concept of Gnosticism is seeing beyond your physical reality, knowing that you, of course, go beyond the physical, that you have a divine primordial soul, and in the Kabbalah we call it Shekinah, and in the divine feminine, in Hinduism they call it Kundalini or Shakti. And in Gnosticism we call it Sophia or wisdom. And if you read Proverbs 8, and if you read the Wisdom of Solomon, he talks about Sophia or the divine feminine or a virtuous woman, which is symbolized through your divine primordial soul or your divine spark. Now in Gnosticism we talk about the divine spark, the creator of the physical world or earth, or not even just earth, or the physical universe, or what we call in the Kabbalah Malakuth is Yahuwah, or the Tetragrammaton. Now in that mythology, in Hebrew mythology comes from Canaanite mythology. Let me get that straightened out first. Hebrew mythology is nothing more than Canaanite mythology. Matter of fact, when you really actually study it, there's no such thing as a Hebrew language. There's Canaanite Phoenician, but there's really no such thing as Hebrew. It's because if you look up Canaanite Phoenician and Paleo Hebrew, it's just basically the same thing. It's the same language. In that mythology of the story in the Old Testament, Abraham is from where? Abraham is from where? The land of Canaan. So, in that mythology, in the Old Testament, Yahuwah or Yah, or how it's pronounced Yahuwah, because the Wav sound, the Yod Hey Wav Hey, doesn't make a W sound. It makes a Oo sound, Yahuwah. But the Jews who call themselves Jews, they, within their language, the list that they have, they say Yahweh, but that's not the proper pronunciation, which is why they're Jewish and not all the way from the tribe of Judah or Yehuda. But anyways, I don't want to get off track. But the Tetragrammaton and the Demiurge are two different things, and the Demiurge isn't something outside of yourself. The Demiurge has everything to do with physical reality. That means Earth. That means out there in space when it comes to planets and astrology and all that. Everything in the tangible physical universe has something to do with the Demiurge. Just because it's a crystal or an organite or anything like that doesn't. Yeah, it has a high vibration and what we call vibration or whatever, but it at the same time, it's in the physical reality. Therefore, there is something inside of you that goes beyond. It's just like with entheogens or psychedelics. It's kind of like, yeah, these psychedelics are cool to take and they're awesome. You have amazing experiences. Yeah, of course. However, there's something inside of you that goes beyond you even having a psychedelic. Having to have a psychedelic experience with something outside of yourself. You see what I'm saying? Your divine primordial soul is El Elyon, or the most, or in Hebrew, what we call the Most High God. You're divine primordial. So because if you read Gnosticism, the creation story in Gnosticism, Sophia gave man divine souls, or what in science, in like astrophysics, physicists and like different biologists, they come together and they talk about the human body is made up of stardust. We have stardust inside of us and all that. We're made up of the same fabric of the universe and stuff like that. And that's, I ain't gonna say that's where this comes from, but if you check out my video on quantum physics and ancient mythology is just nothing but quantum physics. But the Demiurge, the creator of the physical reality, or Yahuwah, created nothing, just a physical body. It's a shell. See what I'm saying? And if you watch Ghost in the Shell and also Netflix Altered Carbon, I'm gonna decode that. I'm gonna do a lecture on that, because that's a very good show when it comes to this. That's a very good Gnostic sci-fi, like cyberpunk type of show. It's really good. It's called Altered Carbon. You can check that out. But it talks about reincarnation and, you know, all that type of stuff. It's really good. But the Demiurge only created the physical reality, but we go beyond the physical reality in that mythology now. You see what I'm saying? But it was us that created this physical reality. There's no such thing as a creator out there. The creator is here. Because look, when you go watch a movie, right, you are watching a projector on a screen. That projector is coming from something else. So this reality is just a projection of our own minds. See what I'm saying? There's no Demiurge out there coming to get you. You see what I'm saying? Or trying to keep you down. You are keeping you down here. Your ego is keeping you down here. Your humanity is the Demiurge. The Demiurge has nothing to do with some guy in the sky coming to get you. Neither are the archons. Now, check this out. Now, I hear a lot of people, especially these new agey type of people, and these so-called occult groups, but really just disinformation groups. You know what I'm saying? That have no real like transformative information. They talk about archons being evil, and we need to stay away from the archons, but they talk about archangels and saying how the archangels are good. The archangels are the archons. Now, when you get past the concept of an angel and an archangel being some asshole in the sky with wings coming to save you from diarrhea or whatever the fuck, like, the archangels, 7 days of the week, 7 planets, seven color light spectrum. That's the archons. Your chakras, 7 chakras. Look, there are 7 major archangels. There are 7 major planets. There are 7, and it says in the mythology, these archons helped the Demiurge create the physical reality, and they created the zodiac signs and the planets. And the zodiac signs and the planets are based off what? Time. This reality, this physical reality, or Malkuth, is based off of time. Look, when we talk about the astral plane and all the type of stuff, that ain't nothing. That's still in Malkuth. Malkuth is vast. Malkuth has a lot of different dimensions in it. You see what I'm saying? So, but I'm going to go to the whiteboard here, because there's got some things I got written down here that I'm going to use as teaching tools, as always. But here I have the hopefully you guys can see this. I have the Kabbalah tree of life right here. And let me make some adjustments here. There we go. And yeah, there we go. So make sure you guys see it. And the first 3 triads on top, right here. The first 3 triads. These triads basically that's the real world at the top, where it says it exists, because the TetraGrammaton basically is Yod Hey Wav Hey. You read Hebrew from left to right. Yod Hey Wav Hey. At the bottom, I got it down there. But at the top right here, there's 4 worlds in the Kabbalah: exist, creation, formation, and manifestation. Now, and these are represented by the 4 letters of the TetraGrammaton. And also the 4 letters of the TetraGrammaton is represented by the 4 elements, the 4 directions, the 4 major archangels, Michael, Raphael, Uriel, Gabriel, fire, earth, wind, air, and water. The 4 directions: north, east, west. Almost said Seth, but north, east, west, and south. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's basically. I mean, the Tetragrammaton is so much when it comes to the Tetragrammaton. I'm gonna do another in-depth lecture on the Tetragrammaton and dealing with the Sefer Yetzirah and the cube and all that type of stuff because it ties into this. But just a basic overview of what the Tetragrammaton is and what the Demiurge is. It's 2 separate things. You see what I'm saying? The Tetragrammaton is this. You see what I'm saying? The Tetragrammaton represents not just you as a man or a woman in the physical reality, but it also represents you on a soulful level. Because when you look at the Kabbalah tree of life, the Kabbalah tree of life is nothing but the universe. It's a map of the universe, and it's also a map of yourself, because you are the universe. We all are the universe manifested within itself. So the Kabbalah tree of life is a manifestation, is a representation and a map of the self, of the psyche, of not just the human body, but the physical. Not just the physical body, excuse me, or human body, but the non-physical, the soulful, the spiritual. But like I said, up here, the first triad at the top where it says exist, this first world, this is the world of existence. And above this, there's even another greater world that's called Ein Sof, Ein Sofer, which means limitless light. And that's where we truly come from. We come from this world right here and beyond. We come from the world of the real, because if you look at this first triad up here, it's the only triad that's pointing up, and the rest is going down. You see what I'm saying? The world of creation and the world of formation is pointing down. So therefore, these worlds that's below the world of the real, those are the archons. Look at it. It's 7 spheres. 1, 2. I got them numbered. Below the world of the real, I would point at it, but hold on. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Yeah, you can hear me. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Yeah, you can hear me. Excuse me for that, but I just want to go ahead and get comfortable with this. But here, below the world of existence, or the world of absolute, I'm gonna try to put some annotations in the video. So you can, just to use as teaching tools. But below the world of existence is the world of creation, the world of formation, and the world of manifestation. This is where we're at right here. We're in the world of manifestation, right? So when it comes to the archons and the demiurge, this is the demiurge. Everything below the world of existence is the demiurge. In Kundalini Yoga, we have something called Satanama. These 4 letters, and this also represents not traditionally, or anything, because I'm mixing the east and the west. You see what I'm saying? I'm just as a teaching tool. But we say Satanama. Now Satanama means existence, life, death, rebirth. Existence, life, death, rebirth into physical manifestation. See what I'm saying? So creation, formation, physical manifestation. We're down here on we're down here on Malkuth, the last sphere, the 10th sphere. But we got below the world of the real, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how many archons are there? 7. How many archangels are there? 7. So this is the demiurge, and the archons has nothing to do with some alien on a ship. The archons aren't aliens on the ship. I just showed you what the archons are. This is the archons, the planets that in astrology that we so love to worship and all this type of stuff. That's what's keeping you in bondage, because the numbers 3, 7, and 12 are numbers of bondage. What I mean by that is you got 3 triads, see what I'm saying, in the world of illusion, or the world of bondage, or the world of the Demiurge. You got the number 3, you got the number 7, and the number 12. The number 3, dealing with the triad, or the triad of creation, or the triad of physical manifestation. See what I'm saying? And 7 archons, 7 days of the week, 7 color spectrums, 7 planets, 7 archangels, 7 archons. See what I'm saying? 3, 7, and 12. 12 zodiac signs. See what I'm saying? Zodiac signs are a part of the physical Demiurge creation. See what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Actually, the zodiac signs and the planets really have nothing to do with spirituality at all. That's all based in the human world. They affect the human world. They have nothing to do with anything up here. Astrology and planets and all that stuff, it has to do, not to say that information isn't useful, but it has everything to do with that's not it. That's not it, because we go beyond that. It has everything to do with the world of the Demiurge that we created. Now, when it comes to, let me write it down here. When it comes to let me do this. Let me get another whiteboard. Excuse me. When it comes to crap, I thought I had another whiteboard ready on hand, on deck, but hold on. I just used this one. Okay, here we go. Get this chair straightened out. Just here working all day, so okay. Get another whiteboard out so I can show you guys this. It's not clean, but it'll work, because I really want to show you guys what the Demiurge is and what the TetraGrammaton is, because it's two different things. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to, like I said, I see a lot of people getting it confused, because I do a lot of work with the TetraGrammaton when it comes to, ceremonial magic and stuff like that, and invocations and evocations and stuff. And somebody saw me using or saw me mentioning the TetraGrammaton, and it was like, oh, it's so bad, you're not supposed to do that. Not supposed to do that, and that's bad, and you know what I mean? Yeah, we heard everything about the Demiurge, and that's, it's like, no, because no, I don't worship Jehovah. I don't worship Yahweh. I don't worship, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't worship really. I don't worship anything. I honor Yahuwah, because I know what Yahuwah and the TetraGrammaton is, and I know what the Demiurge is. And it's not any of that stuff out there that's on YouTube. It's not that. But okay, 1, 2, and 3. Now, okay. When it comes to, because I'm gonna give a better representation, and this is gonna be a crappy cube here, but it'll work. Okay. That cube looks so bad, but it'll work. Fuck it. Okay. Up here, when it comes to the world of Absolute, Saturn, this is represented by Saturn, right? This is also represented by the divine feminine, Saturn, Binah, wisdom. No, well, Hokmah is wisdom. Binah is understanding. This is represented by Saturn. And Saturn, which is also represented by, that creation energy, Saturn day, Saturday, the 7th day of the week. So then the week begins anew. You know what I'm saying? So when Saturn gave birth to the physical reality, which is the cube in the Sefer Yetzirah. Check out the Sefer Yetzirah. I'm not gonna make because this video would be like 2-3 hours long if I got into the Sefer Yetzirah. But I want to make this just a simple, quick lecture on, and then you guys can do the research for yourself. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna give you guys some books to get into when it comes to this. Um, but yeah, uh, Saturn created the physical, gave birth to the physical reality. Now, when you look at a cube has 6 sides. I forgot to write this down in but I wrote it down in my notes here. The cube has 6 sides, 8 lines, no, 8 corners, and 12 lines, and that equals 26. And that's the cube. And the Tetragrammaton equals 26 because in Hebrew, if you didn't know, these are the letters are the numbers, and the letters are also hieroglyphs. They represent something. It's fractal. It's fractal geometry. I'm gonna get into that on my lecture on the Hebrew language, the language of creation. I'm gonna go through each letter and everything like that. But the Tetragrammaton equals 26, and the cube has, like I said, 6 lines, no, 6 faces, 8 lines, and 8 corners and 12 lines. So that equals 26. You see what I'm saying? It equals 26, and 2 plus 6 equals 8, which is the infinity symbol. You know what I mean? The Tetragrammaton represents like that. How do I put the like sacred geometry as well. When you put let me erase this one. When you put, matter of fact, I got it right here. And one of my it's written in my grimoire. Let me see if I still got it. When you this right here. Here we go. This right here. I know some of you guys have seen it. This right here is the Tetragrammaton inside a pyramid. And when you put the Tetragrammaton inside a pyramid, like stacked up like this, Yod, Yod Hey, Yod Hey Wav, Yod Hey Wav Hey, it equals 72, right? So, and we've all seen the Star of David. Y'all gonna learn today what the Demiurge and the Tetragrammaton is. Because trust me, I know. I work with this every single day. And then when you put an upside down triangle, 72 plus 72 is what? 144 or 144,000. That's the angelic, the right side up, and the demonic, the upside down. 72 plus 72, 144. You merge both sides of the Tetragrammaton, the light and the dark, the demonic and the angelic, and you become Elohim, supreme. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? So that's the Tetragrammaton. And also, it's so much when it comes to what the Tetragrammaton. It's so much. Just do your research. Also, right here, I got, this is the atom right here, the atom cadmium. When you stack up the Tetragrammaton up and down, it makes the hieroglyph of a man. And that's atom, the atom cadmium. Atum. Now, the atom is fractal geometry. Now, we all know the flower of life. If you haven't seen the picture of the flower of life, it looks like this, basically. Like this is an incense box. I went to the herb shop today. But yeah, that's what the flower of life looks like. It's just a representation of like everything in nature. Atoms, all that. Atom. See what I'm saying? Because atom and atom is the same thing. So the flower of life, when it's in 3D form like this pyramid, just imagine that basically in 3D form. That thing. I got my camera all backwards, so it's awkward for me. But yeah, just imagine in 3D form the flower of life. It has 144 faces. You get it? See what I'm saying? 72 Tetragrammaton, Yod Hey Wav, Yod Hey Wav Hey, Yod Hey Wav Hey, upside down 72, right side up 72, or the Merkaba 72 plus 72 is 144. This is you. This is that you are the Tetragrammaton is you. The Tetragrammaton is Christ consciousness. It is what Enoch was talking. You see what I'm saying? That's what the Tetragrammaton is, and that's what the Demiurge is. The Tetragrammaton is a formula for creation. The Demiurge is creation itself, physical creation itself. That's all that is. It's not a guy in the sky. It's not, you know what I'm saying, any of there's basically the misinformation out there. I just want to clear up the misinformation of what the Tetragrammaton and what the Demiurge is. It's two different things. Two different things. Yeah, in the Old Testament, this being is doing all this crazy stuff, killing children, killing babies, and all this stuff. But that's just a story. It is a mythology. And it does take on the name Yahuwah or YHWH, but it's just a story representing something. See what I'm saying? It's telling a story. Why is this creator God of physical reality so vengeful and all this type of stuff? It's representative of something. You have to decode it. You know what I mean? Instead of just taking it literally at literal face value. But yeah, man. But it's to me, this is just like, to me, this is, it's profound information to me, but it's nothing. There's so much on the Tetragrammaton. There's so much on the Demiurge. I just wanted to spark you guys' like inspiration into looking into what these things truly are, because it'd be very beneficial, especially if you were a ceremonial magician. You know what I mean? Because you have to be, from my experience, you have to be neutral. You know what I mean? Like I work with, when it comes to ceremonial magic and the Solomonic path, I call it, with the Greater Keys of Solomon, Lesser Keys of Solomon. I work with both angels and demons, and it's like, I don't judge it as good or bad or nothing like that, or I'm trying to be a badass working with a demon, or I'm trying to be this righteous person working with an angel. I just see it for what it is, because I know what the Tetragrammaton is, and after what I just showed you, and you're a ceremonial magician, you should use the Tetragrammaton. There's nothing wrong with using it. Like, it's not like I said, some guy in the sky with a whole bunch of laws and all that type of stuff. But if you believe that, then yes, that, because like, once again, it's coming from your mind. Yahuwah is you. Elyon is you. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, hopefully you guys do more research on this, and this helps you in your work, your alchemical work within the self, and it helps you to mainly understand this creation that we live in, and gain much knowledge of self. And as always, this is Issa in Alchem Slab. See you in space.